Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. I'm excited to announce that this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. For the past few years, Ultimate Guard has been hard at work finding ways to protect your cards without damaging the planet, and they have discovered it. Boulders, once made entirely of plastic, are now made of 87% renewable resources. They also come in a variety of sizes, including this new 133 card box. If you're like me, you have a ton of decks, want a little bit of space for your tokens in your deck boxes, and don't want those boxes filling up an entire suitcase, then this box is the perfect solution. Find out if your local game store carries the new Return to Earth boulders from Ultimate Guard. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Mark. Huge thanks to Mark and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Mark reached out asking for a secret commander. Specifically, he wanted a deck that was a sort of partner deck led by Nixilis captive Kingpin and Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph. But since not everyone would rule zero him running them in the command zone, he asked for Nixilis the Mindraiser to be the backup commander. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Nixilis Captive Kingpin is a 4-mana, 4/3 legendary demon with flying and trample. Whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, we put a +1/+1 counter on Nixilis Captive Kingpin. We then exile the top card of our library. Until our next end step, we may play that card. Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph is a 3-mana, 3/2 legendary Tyrannid human with Ward 2. Whenever another source of damage we control deals exactly 1 damage to a permanent or player, Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph deals 2 damage to that permanent or player. So both of these commanders care about dealing exactly 1 point of damage. One of them increases the damage dealt, while the other grows and draws us cards. There are lots of ways to damage our opponents, but we'll want to focus on things that only deal a single point of damage. And remember, Magic players, damage counts as life loss, but life loss doesn't always count as damage. Now, before we get to our deck list, we'll want to keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Cabal Coffers, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire, Scalding Tarn, Misty Rainforest, Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa, Xander's Lounge, Watery Grave, Blood Crypt, Steam Vents, Morphic Pool, Luxury Suite, Training Center, Shipwreck Marsh, Haunted Ridge, Stormcarved Coast, Drowned Catacomb, Dragonskull Summit, Sulphur Falls, Underground River, Mount Doom, Shivan Reef, Reliquary Tower, Bajuka Bog, Myriad Landscape, 4 islands, 1 swamp, and 3 mountains make up our land base. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Dominance, Talisman of Creativity, Talisman of Indulgence, Dimir Signet, Rakdos Signet, Izzet Signet, Mindstone, Chromatic Lantern, Decanter of Endless Water, Dockside Extortionist, and Stormkiln Artist make up our mana ramp package. Big Score, Unexpected Windfall, Black Market Connections, Seize the Spoils, Pirate's Pillage, Windfall, Demonic Tutor, Jeska's Will, Jace Beleren, Rhystic Study, Vampiric Tutor, and Underworld Breach help us dig through our deck and keep our hands full. Rakdos Charm, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Abrade, Counterspell, Chaos Warp, Feed the Swarm, Bedevil, Negate, Arcane Denial, Vandal Blast, and Commit Memory make up our interaction and spot removal package. Cyclonic Rift, Reckless Endeavor, and Blasphemous Act help us to reset the board as needed. Nekusar the Mindslaver serves as our commander if the table doesn't like the idea of Ghyrson, Starn, and Nixilis as partners. But we've also got Spiteful Visions, Underworld Dreams, Urabrask, Prosper Tomebound, All Will Be One, Orcish Bowmasters, Kedurked Parasite, Kessig Flamebreather, Electrostatic Field, Niv Mizzet Perun, Grape Shot, Firebrand Archer, Aether Sting, Burning Earth, Fate Unraveler, Mana Barbs, Roiling Vortex, Mayhem Devil, Reckless Fireweaver, Prodigal Sorcerer, and Thermo Alchemist make up the core of our deck. Now that we have our deck list, we can compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 15 pieces of card advantage. 11 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 3 pieces of graveyard hate in Rakdos Charm, Commit Memory, and Bojuka Bog. 1 sudden I win card in All Will Be One. All Will Be One paired with Nixilis Captive Kingpin goes infinite. Now, we'd better make sure our opponents aren't playing life gain decks, otherwise we may run out of library before we kill them. Fortunately, with Ghyrson Starn on board, that shouldn't be a problem. Now, a few of the card choices in this deck were made with the idea that most tables wouldn't let us run Ghyrson Starn and Nixilis as partners. So we've got Nekusar as well as a couple of wheels. But remember, Nekusar deals exactly 1 point of damage, so the 3 of them synergize very well together. All in all, I'm happy with how this deck turned out, and so is Mark. Do you have a pair of legendary creatures you want to partner together? Or have you already built a deck with them as well as a backup commander? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Richard, Bob Zombie, Mark, Danny, Alex, John, Ignis, Daniel, Steve, and Kevin. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.